Well, it sure does feel like we're getting into the thick of things here in the Premier League, but I'm feeling a little upset that we're already back into the international break. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that is Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below that, Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, good evening. Hello. On the rare occasion when all three of our football teams win on a weekend, let me be the first to congratulate all of us on a winning weekend. Look at that.
Yes.
It's wild.
It is.
It could feel better.
Could it?
Could it?
It could be a feels weekend, but it's not.
But it's not. No, it's not.
I was gonna say,
It's not the feels weekend.
No feels.
It's not time for the feels.
Nope. Everyone get out of your feels.
I'm ready for this one. Are you guys getting in your feels to like get ready for feeling?
Yeah, I'm ready for a feels episode.
I'm getting.
Yeah. You're getting in your feels to get ready for feeling.
Yes.
We got to wade into the waters to see what things feel like. You know.
This is my first time in the feels.
That's right. You were gone last year, so you didn't share any of your feelings.
That's true.
He's always so cagey, that Brad. Before we get into not our feelings this week, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell, drop a comment down below if you're on YouTube. Join our Discord. It's in the description of this video or the podcast, wherever you're listening. And yeah, we really appreciate it. Share it with a friend. So what we got for you guys? This week, of course, is the international break, so there is no real football this weekend. We've got fake football coming up on the weekend. That would be international football. No one cares about it during the regular club season
or anything. It's just like friendlies.
No, I think
no. There is some qualifiers.
Oh wait, no, that is
one friendly, one qualifier. I think.
And either way, it's stupid.
One.
Either way, it's stupid. No one cares.
We just had one. Like y'all couldn't qualify a month ago. Like we could figure this out.
All my homies are pulling out of their international team. Anyway, it's just it's stupid. So what we've got for you this week, we've just got this one episode this week for you guys. We're gonna break down what happened in match week 8, lots of tasty stuff, and then we will be back next week with a preview of match week 9, and then after match week 9, that's when things start to feel a little bit more tangible. So if you guys catch our joke, what we're getting on here is Jimmy left us a comment. He said a lot of feels in this unofficial feels episode. I'm starting to feel like we are ready for some feels. So Jimmy, stay tuned. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming, baby.
Jimmy.
It's coming.
But without any further ado, as you guys can see, we got those scores scrolling along the bottom right now. And I think I see the one that we want to start with. It says Arsenal 1, Martinelli 86, Manchester City 0. So you heard that right. Arsenal beat Manchester City at the Emirates. This is the first time Arsenal have beaten Manchester United. This is the first time Arsenal have not lost to Manchester City in 13 games. They had the last 12 Premier League games that Arsenal played against Manchester City, they lost.
So something interesting that I want to point out.
Point it out, brother.
When you said on, I believe it was Friday, I said something about the banana peel game that Tottenham usually has. Mm-hmm. And you said, no, you're going to smash Luton, and when our game is played, we'll put you top of the table.
Mm-hmm. I said that.
And I didn't think much of it, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I put it together that you're playing City. You meant that you were going to beat them, and we would go top of the table because we're tied and we have the tiebreaker.
Whoa. I don't know if he thought it was a win.
So
that's what was interesting to me. You didn't think it was going to be a win, but a draw would have also put us top of the table. So I had more confidence in your team than you did.
Yes. So when I sent that text message, I knew I had flexibility because I didn't think Arsenal would lose the match. I wasn't certain that we would win the match. And so I felt confident in making that prognostication. But I also did think that Spurs would beat Luton by about 5 goals. And I think you guys dominated them, but if it wasn't for some tomfoolery from one of your players, then perhaps you guys would have been able to score more goals.
And get into that.
We'll get into that. in just a moment. But I don't know. Big takeaway. I've seen a lot of talk on the internet these days, especially from bitter non-Arsenal people who are just like, you guys, you barely beat City. You scored a deflected goal. You shouldn't be excited. Blah, 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 blah. I would also like to point out the fact that Manchester City, they had one shot on goal, and their last shot in the football game was in the 58th minute. They didn't have a single shot in the football game after the 58th minute.
Because that's what you do well, though. You play a high back line. You cut people off before they get a chance to get in a shooting position, and you do that extremely well.
But we're talking about the best team in the entire world.
You did it to us, so
I'm just saying
the best team. That's the best team.
To be fair, yes, we did do that to you as we were smothering to you as well, but we also gifted you a goal, at least one goal in that match.
Yeah.
And so that was good, but that was also kind of my point when we talked about the North London derby. It was like, what did Spurs do outside of after Arsenal gifted you guys the second goal to get you back in the game? I was like, what did Tottenham do? What did they didn't do anything. But I think that I am right in feeling impressed by the fact that Arsenal effectively shut down Manchester City for the last third of the game.
It is tough to feel. It is tough to let yourself feel on top of the world when they're missing Rodri and they're missing De Bruyne and they're like, no, I don't think that you slight yourself and say, oh no, we didn't do it against the actual, we didn't do it against the first team. You should take pride in it no matter what. But it is tough to feel on top of the world.
Certainly, that's context. That's context.
It's context of, okay, they didn't have their best two players. Like, let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. De Bruyne and Rodri are their best two players.
Sure, but we also didn't have Saka.
You didn't have your best player.
Martinelli, we thought was more injured than he apparently was. He came on and played 45 minutes, and we also didn't have. Can
Martinelli not play on the right?
Well, he certainly could. I think it's more likely that Trossard would play on the right before if Martinelli was fully fit. I think that Arteta would have played Gabby on the left if he was fully fit, but he wasn't fully fit.
Okay.
We didn't think he was fully fit. We thought it was a long shot that he was even on the bench. But so my only point about bringing up Rodri and De Bruyne, which I think are legitimate statements, I think that's legitimate context when we analyze this game, is that Thomas Partey only played like 30 minutes, and he's arguably our best midfielder. Probably not anymore with Declan Rice, because Declan Rice has been a freaking beast. Old Declan is crushing it. He's shown that he is worth every single pound we paid for him.
That's what you want to see, right? You want to see that he's worth it.
You want to see people not talk about the price when he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. Not a single person mentions the price of Declan Rice anymore. You know who we still talk about? Some boys in blue. But
no. Not the one that you're trying to point out.
Don't throw strays over there when you have Kai Havertz wearing a red jersey. Okay.
Guess who?
He got the assist though.
Guess who assisted the goal?
That was my first question to Joel. Was tell me it wasn't Kai that scored.
No, he assisted it. But okay, interesting. The last thing I'm going to point out. And so okay,
you're throwing stones in a glass house here.
I'm over the moon about the fact that we beat City. I said at the outset of the season, if we can take 4 points off City this year, I think that we have set ourselves up extremely well to beat them in for the title. And this was step one. So obviously I can't get ahead of myself. The most important game is the Chelsea game. This game doesn't matter anymore for us. But I'm excited about it. I'm super happy.
Next week's episode, sir.
I know, but that's all I'm thinking about. But the one thing I will say is that Arteta made, I think he ultimately made 5 subs in the match. Maybe he only made 4. I don't know. But when we scored our goal, all 4 substitutes were involved in the goal. Thomas Partey. So we only made 4 subs. Okay, so all 4 of our substitutes were involved in the goal. Partey passes the ball up. Tomiyasu heads it down to Havertz. Havertz passes it back to Martinelli. Martinelli scores it. And so it was like the.
Didn't Octave score it? But
I don't know. What did the Premier League say?
I'm just saying.
The Premier League said that Martinelli scored.
Yep. So I'm taking all the credit. But yeah, super hyped. That's all I got to say. I think it puts us in a great position. We have had a fairly tough start to the season in terms of like strength of schedule. Not the toughest. I'm not saying we've had the toughest start. That's obviously Newcastle, but we've had a fairly difficult start to the season. I think we have equipped ourselves and handled ourselves very well. 20 points out of a potential 24 is
8 games played.
Very good. I'm very happy with that. Undefeated in the league. Only behind Spurs on goals scored, so I'm fine with that. But speaking of Spurs, Spurs,
that's enough football talk. Let's talk about referees.
I've got something from the Arsenal match that I could talk about.
Are we doing this?
James,
of course we are. Know
it's the Premier League. We've got to talk about referees.
You felt
every single week
personally attacked by the statement I made this weekend.
Yes, I did.
In a personal manner.
Yes.
So if you had not had a chance to watch the Tottenham game, Basuma is on a yellow and clearly dives in a manner that is ridiculous, unbecoming. He's a better player than that. You cannot give yourself he's a better player than to go to ground like that. You can't give someone a second yellow. That's for simulation. Like you can't do that.
Hold on.
Why?
You just described that it was a dive. Like this
yes,
is from
it is absolutely a dive. It is absolutely a dive
outside of the box.
Why can't?
That's a yellow card.
You can't do that. He's already on a yellow. If he's not on a yellow, you give him a yellow.
Why can't you give him yellow for that?
It's simulation.
The law of the game, the law states that simulation is penalized with the yellow card. So tell me why that the referee should disregard that law.
That's what I was saying even last week with Liverpool. The Jota's second yellow should not have been a yellow, only because the referee should have. Only because he's already on a light yellow, and you should give the referee lateral movement to make a judgment call of like, all right, well, shouldn't have given the first one, but I'm going to give him some grace here. That should be the same as Basuma.
You see, I entirely disagree and reject that line of thinking.
That's why I started off the way I did.
That you can make up for a poor call or. In this regard, we're not even saying that Basuma's first yellow card was not deserved.
No,
it was
he's
clearly deserved. So he earned his first yellow card, and then you're saying for the sake of, I don't know, like the integrity of the match or something like that, you think that he shouldn't get a second yellow card when he does something that is clearly clearly deserving of a second yellow card. And so you're hoping that the referee disregards the rules for some sort of like greater moral purpose
yes, exactly. Yes.
So if Angel Hernandez, who is the worst umpire in the entire world to ever live, blows a call at third base, say he's the third base umpire, he absolutely blows a pickoff attempt. He shouldn't then call the runner out for interference on some BS. Like he shouldn't change the rules and change the interpretation of the rules to make up for the fact that he sucked in the first place. And we're not even saying that the referee screwed up in the first place with Basuma. So like literally the referee had nothing he could do. Basuma left him no option. You're just hoping that the referee disregards the rule in order for like the moral sake of the game, which
You know that I acknowledged this from the beginning, from saying that is clearly a dive.
Yes.
I saw it multiple times from multiple angles. It is a dive.
Now that you said that, I'm going to read from the FA's website. Where two cautionable offenses are committed, even in close proximity, they should result in 2 cautions. For example, gives an example, players enter the field without permission and then a tackle or a reckless tackle or stops a promising attack with a foul or handball. Cautionable. Cautions for unsporting behavior. There are different circumstances when a player must be cautioned for unsporting behavior, including if a player, first one on the line, attempts to deceive the referee, e.g. by feigning injury or pretending to have been fouled. The first one, not the second, not the fourth, not the 20th, the first one.
It reminds me of, and will have to correct me in the comments as to which player it was, but I feel like it was This was for Juventus a few years ago. Matri or Quagliarella or someone like that, who scored a goal, took his shirt off, got a yellow card, and then like right on the ensuing kickoff made a foul. Got a second yellow card, and was sent off. He had like been on the pitch for like 5 minutes and like got 2 yellow cards in 5 minutes. One was for taking his shirt off, and the other was for just a stupid foul right after the kickoff.
Yeah, you can't give him a second yellow there.
You have to, Sean.
Yes, you have to. The rules say you must give that yellow card. It wasn't like you have an option to.
Let me tell you why this is the wrong line of thinking. Because in the Arsenal City match, Michael Oliver did what you were asking your referee to do, where Kovacic fouls in the midfield, gets a yellow card, which arguably could have been a red card. It was worse than
a red card.
Worse than the Curtis Jones one, worse than the Gusto one. It was.
I will give you that the first foul was worse than Curtis Jones.
Yes.
So if Curtis Jones is a red, that's a red all day.
Yes.
Curtis Jones and Gusto both got the ball.
Yes.
Before hitting the player.
That's what I'm saying. At least they were making a play on the ball and got the ball.
Yes.
Oh, if you watch that Gusto one, like that's terrible. Like, homie is like a yard away from the ball and runs into his foot to get the foul.
Yeah. So arguably Kovacic should already be off the field, but he gets a yellow card. Whatever. 5 minutes later, he leaves a trailing foot in on Declan Rice and kicks Declan Rice in a way that is very deserving of a yellow card. Anyone, if you showed 100 football fans in a vacuum just that play with no other context, I would imagine that greater than 95% of them are telling you that's a yellow card. Yeah, and so Michael Oliver did what you did. He disregarded a correct interpretation to save the moral integrity of the match.
And when you bring all these facts and logic to this situation, I'm gonna agree with you. But
this is not the Feels episode.
When it's Tottenham, we throw the facts and logic out because we got to protect Tottenham.
Bringing it back to, because we've been rambling a little bit here, but bringing it back to.
Your mic went out, Sean. Check your cable. Nope. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Nope. Yep. You
just gotta unplug it again.
Unplug it and replug in. Technical difficulties while we talk about how he's so wrong about Bissouma.
Okay, listen. It is extremely unfortunate for me because not only does Bissouma get suspended for the next game, but that doesn't eradicate his first yellow, so he is also on 4.
He should just be suspended for 2 games. Like, I don't get this. The first yellow card.
It's 1 or 3, right?
Time out. So the first yellow card was his 5th. So he should have accumulated a 1-game suspension for 5 yellow cards. And then he gets a second yellow card, red card,
sure?
which automatically.
His first one was 4.
No, his first one was 5. No, his first one was 5. Either way, even if his first one was 5 or his second was 5, it doesn't matter. He got to an accumulation suspension, and then on top of that, he got a 1-game. He should be suspended 1 game for getting a second yellow red card.
I actually agree with you.
He should have a 2-game suspension. I don't think that's what's happening, but he should be suspended for 2 games.
He has a 1-game suspension, and he's still on 4.
I think the red card supersedes the yellow cards.
That's why I think I think
don't disagree with you
with the first yellow being 5. I think you're wrong on that.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that's how the rules are interpreted.
I think his first yellow was 4, and then the 5th was the second, which the red would supersede that.
He has had 5 yellow cards and 1 red card this season, but I don't know if they consider the last yellow card a red card. So okay, I will tell you this. Amanda, we weren't watching the game. I forget where we were, but Amanda read to me the like a game cap of it, and she was like, and she was reading the first one. Said Bissouma gets a yellow card. This is his 5th yellow card for the season. He's earned a 1-game suspension. And then like 10 minutes later, she reads me that Bissouma gets a second yellow card, and he's off. So I don't know. I think that he's had 6 yellow cards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I'm glad that he has it, and I'm glad that he's suspended because then it resets his availability. But I don't think that's what I read. The update that I read was that he has to serve his red suspension and then still he's on 4.
So He got a yellow card against Bournemouth. He got a yellow card against Sheffield. He got a yellow card against Arsenal. He got a yellow card against Liverpool. That was at 4. And then he got 2 in match week 8 against Luton Town. He had 6 yellow cards and 1 red card. Okay, this is immaterial. I believe what you're saying is true. I'm just telling you that the Premier League is wrong.
Yes, he should be suspended for 2 games. And Romero didn't get a yellow like I wanted him to. So we're screwed. If he doesn't get a yellow against Fulham, we're done for.
Who's after Fulham? Remind me again who's after Fulham?
Palace,
yeah.
And then after that, that's our first 10 games. After that, it goes Chelsea, Wolves, Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, City, like Brighton. Like we start murderers row. Our murderers, like we start the gauntlet.
Yeah,
Wolves have not been an easy out either this year.
No, they haven't.
No, but I think my November and December are worse than yours.
That Korean guy. Oh, interesting.
That Korean guy.
Interesting thing I wanted to ask you about this shot about Tottenham before we move on to Chelsea. There's the last four teams in the Premier League table are Luton Town, Burnley, Bournemouth, and Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Tottenham have beaten all 4 of those teams.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to do.
4 of your wins this year so far are against bottom feeders. You have 1 against Manchester United, which there was some dubious refereeing shenanigans in that, where Romero probably should have had a penalty against him, or a yellow card or red card, whatever it was with Romero. And then the other one, it was a handball. Yeah. But there were dubious stuff, whatever. And then the second one is the 6th victory is the victory against Liverpool, with also some. Refer to last week's episode if you're curious about that. So if I'm going to present this to you, that Tottenham have 6 wins, 4 are against bottom feeders, and 2 involve some amount of referee shenanigans, are you still as confident in this Tottenham team? Do you still feel like your position is as like do you guys still feel like you are one of the big dogs in the league this year?
So initially, I was gonna troll your answer. I was going to, but no, I'm gonna push back on that and give you a real answer. Absolutely, I feel like we are exactly where we should be, considering how we've played. We've dominated almost every game, except the Sheffield game, which we got a little bamboozled on that one. I don't know what was going on that we. It almost feel I don't know what was happening there, but we ended up coming out with the win. We dominated United, and given the penalty, we still win 2-1. We won 2-0. Give them the penalty that you say is dubious. Okay, we still win 2-1.
But they go up 1-0. They go up 1-0 at the point. It's like it changes the game. It changes the. I'm not here to relitigate that. It's a more holistic question.
Sure, but. At no point, I rewatched the game last night. At no point in the game yesterday or in Saturday did I ever feel like we were out of that.
No, and of course not. You guys had like 87,000% of the possession. If it wasn't for the red card, you guys would have won that game 5-0.
Yeah. So there is no tangible thing I can point to tell you, oh yeah, I'm worried. No, I feel like we're going to do the same. We've done the same thing to Liverpool, done the same thing to United as we've done to Burnley, as we've done to Bournemouth, as we've done to Luton. It doesn't matter who the opponent, as we did to Arsenal. You guys weren't dangerous.
Disagree.
Okay. Well, I watched it with my eyeballs. You weren't dangerous.
I watched it with your eyeballs as well. And I think that we were dangerous. Okay,
I'm not scared. Like,
it's just
bring
food
on
for
City.
Thought. Yeah, bring on City.
Bring on City. Bring on Newcastle. Come on.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Chelsea's in 3 weeks. Let's go.
Oh, fun. All right. Chelsea. Speaking of Chelsea, Chelsea Football Club. You guys.
Yeah.
Am I reading this correct? 4 goals.
We banged in some goals. 7 in the last 3 games. Yes, Raheem Sterling was awesome on the left wing.
You made sure to correct us though. You said someone said 4 goals for Chelsea ? And you said 2 from free play. You made sure to correct it.
Yeah. No. You said 2 from free play when I said 4 goals.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. No, I
No,
thought you corrected it. Anyways, but it's been a running joke since I was trolling James with the fact that they didn't score any goals from free play.
Yeah. Well, we scored 2 last week or the week before.
You did
free play in 90 seconds.
In the cup, yeah.
And we scored 1 in the cup against Brighton. And then Raheem Sterling dominated the left wing, just running by people like we should against Burnley.
Yeah.
Shot the ball for the own goal. Assisted, drew the penalty for Palmer. Scored his goal, and then had the hockey assist for Nico, which he crossed. So it was the second pass before the goal. In hockey.
Wait, I asked you this. I wanted to ask on the podcast. Why is Cole Palmer your penalty taker?
You know what? He scored it, so I don't care. I don't know, but you know what? Hey, look, they're all young. If he wants that responsibility, then let's go.
I mean, he might have the most Premier League experience, like of the crew, like outside of Raheem Sterling. If you eliminate like the Raheem Sterlings and the Thiago Silvas of the world, like if you just get like the young attackers that you guys have signed in the last 18 months, he might have the most Premier League experience.
Did Mudryk play?
He was a sub.
Oh, okay.
He came on with like 12 minutes left.
Why does Mudryk not snatch that ball out of his 18-year-old hand?
He wasn't playing then, and because they're both 18 years old or 20.
Mudryk's older than that, yeah.
Mudryk might be 21, 22. I don't think much older though.
Yeah, I think he's like 21.
Because he's able to play for the U21s.
He's 22. Excuse us.
Oh, I guess sorry. He played for the U23s. That's my fault.
He's almost 23.
Yeah, no, very exciting times. Chelsea's finally converting their XG into goals. So,
speaking of XG, you guys know trivia question: who had 0 XG in their last 2 appearances against Arsenal? Pause the video if you think you know, and drop your answer in the comments. And I'm gonna give you a second to answer. All right, boys, who is it?
The alien.
It's the robot.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, that's right. Shut down. Saliba, Gabriel, best center back pairing in the league.
Disagree with that.
You can't disagree with it. It's impossible to disagree with it.
Yes, I can. I can do it. I just did it.
Okay, then do it with facts and figures, sir.
No.
He just said no.
No, I don't. That doesn't sound very interesting to me.
No, I'm not doing that.
Welcome to Red Card Radio, where it's all that matters is the feels.
Yeah, it's Christian Romero and Mickey Van de Ven. That is the best pairing in the entire league.
All right, Brad. Gun to your head. You have to choose 2. You have to choose one of these 2 for Chelsea. Are you taking William Saliba and Gabriel Mangalas, or Curdy Romero and Mickey Mouse?
It's Saliba and Gabriel.
Science. Owned. All right.
100%.
Let us know in the comments who you guys would pick.
Yeah. Saliba bodies every main striker for Arsenal. He bodies Haaland both these past 2 times. And like he had like a prime Terry, prime Van Dijk appearance there. Just bossing in the midfield with his defense with his passes.
How much of an indictment on Virgil is it that you're calling prime Van Dijk from 5 years ago, and he's still actively playing? That's an indictment. That's an indictment on Virgil.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, like RIP to his career, but like he's definitely not the same. But it's funny that you're saying prime Van Dijk.
Maybe it should be like Van Dijk before ACL.
ACL.
Like,
before his knee got jacked up.
B ACL before the ACL.
Like,
I don't know.
Saliba's that good. Now is he the best defender of all 3 of our teams? No.
Yes.
No.
You're gonna say Levi Colwill, and you're just gonna be wrong, Brad. You're just gonna be wrong.
It's Colwill.
James,
put in the comments. Let's see this vote: Colwill or Saliba
or
James
Romero.
Are you taking
Romero? There we go.
Right now, you have to win a game today. Are you taking Colwill or Romero? This is not for the future. This is today. Tomorrow, you have to win a game that matters a lot to you.
All right. Can I have some context? It's just slotting into one of my center back positions. So like I'm picking one center back to play with Saliba.
Let's just say Gabriel's hurt.
He's sick. He's got tummy trouble. But I still got Partey. I've still got Declan Rice.
Yes. And you can just put in either Romero or Colwill and this is the Champions League final.
I don't know. Romero is a red card waiting to happen. The dude is.
He's only got one red card in the history of being in the league. It's been in the league for 3 years. He's only got one red card.
He is taking over the crown for the Granit Xhaka hothead in the league.
Xhaka didn't have. Look, Xhaka didn't even have red cards.
He had three. He had three. I'm taking Colwell. I'm taking Colwell. He's just he's like the modern. He's like the perfect modern defender. That's like he's young, he's fast, he passes the ball well. He's super well. He's not insane. Like Curdy Romero is just like insane. And also, this is a loaded question because I actively very much dislike Romero. He is just like
and he's left-footed.
He's like, I mean, I don't care about feet. Like, I'm not even, that's not going into my factoring at all. He's just like, how do I say this? He's like the new Lamella at Tottenham. He's taken over that shithouse role. Excuse me for the language filter, but he is the new shithouse at Tottenham.
You need one.
Yeah.
Every team's got to have one.
Yeah. So.
I don't disagree.
We have something on this rundown. It says McWho? McWhat? McTominay?
Yeah, he scored 2.
Yeah.
In extra time. What are we to make of this?
I don't know, man. It's a little frustrating because I really thought that United were going to be dropping points here, and he scores in the
90 plus 3, 90 plus 7.
Yeah, and so Brentford are winning the game. I look at my phone. Brentford are winning the game. It's 1-0. It's like the 90th minute. I'm like, all right, dope. We're going to have another lull fest at Manchester United this week. It's going to be great. And then they win the game 2-1, and it's just like McTominay with 2 goals. It's just like, and the person to score them, Scott McTominay, in extra time. Like, how does that happen? I still, what, Brad?
When you're done, can we get into the back line? Their starting back line.
We'll get into there.
It's amazing.
We'll get into them in a sec. I'm surprised no one said that they were going to take I can't remember, is it Phil Jones and Harry Maguire as their center back pairing. Anyway, but
it's
like
just as good
as Romero and Van de Ven. I agree.
Dang. You walked right into that one, Sean. You walked head first into that one.
What I think, Sean, you and I talked about this last week about like how it's dangerous. This game was dangerous for Manchester United. I still don't, even though they won the game, they got 3 points. I think that this is kind of like, we are in definitely worrying situations, I think, for Ten Hag and for this Manchester United team. I don't think that they should sack Ten Hag because I don't think there's anyone available that you could get realistically who is going to improve Manchester United materially, and who is going to have any, like, if they fire Ten Hag at this point, it's just going to show that the players run that club, and that it doesn't matter who the manager is that the players are in charge. So,
Conte.
No, Conte got ran out of Tottenham.
Conte is not a modern manager.
Just saying, if you're gonna get rid of Ten Hag, it's because Conte's on the phone.
There's a difference between being so the problem with Conte is he thinks it's the 90s and the early 2000s where you just control like everything about every player's life, and that's just not the case anymore. And there's a difference between letting them be boys and like letting the locker room manage themselves, which is what should happen. And then there's a difference between, like, I feel like Ten Hag has a good handle on that, of ruling with an iron fist, but also like, hey, I can't control every part of your life, but make smart decisions. Like, make good decisions with your life. And I feel like the Greenwood situation is an evidence of that, of like, all right, well, you're not going to be around here anymore, so the year off. And then he just moved on. He just moved on.
I think the Sancho situation is more of
a Sancho. Yeah, and sorry. And then the same thing with Sancho, the Sancho situation. Like, I'm not here for your bleeping, personnel, like, or whatever. I forget the word I was trying to use, but like, I'm not here for that. No, we got games to win.
But
But
before we bounce from this, can I go over the starting lineup for their back four?
yeah,
Are you ready?
You just want a meme?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Dallet,
Dello.
Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof. I didn't know Johnny Evans was still on the team.
Johnny Evans.
He just signed a 1 year.
He signed a 1 year deal after the season started.
He's my age.
Can we also talk about the fact that they are playing in front of Onana, who is
yes.
He's not been good.
I don't know how to say this properly, but he has just been bad. And for
terrible,
like £60 million, whatever it was that they paid for him, transfer market is saying 52.5 million euros. It's not converted to pounds for me right now, but that is not a good amount of money to pay for
James,
him.
you played baseball, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Well, not the high level, but
it's like Onana has the yips. Like, would you say at his core, Onana in a vacuum, remove everything you know? Would you say Onana's a bad player?
I think I don't know. I haven't seen him
for Manchester United.
His biggest. Okay, so Onana's biggest.
I think he's just in his own way. I think he's got the yips.
I think his best selling point is that he is supposed to be a good passer. I've never been impressed with his ball stopping ability. Granted, I've watched him sporadically, or sparingly, maybe I should say, mostly in the Champions League and things like that for Inter or Ajax at different times. I don't know. Like I guess the idea is that he's a good passer and that he's just not a good ball stopper. And he doesn't command the box. And yes, I would agree with the sentiment that he has the yips at this point. Like he is, I don't want to say he's afraid, but like I think he would prefer the ball to be as far away from his box for about like 2 games as possible. If he could have 2 games where the ball isn't shot on target against him, he'd be so happy. Or if he just had some sitters kicked right at him for some confidence.
But that is the point of the yips, though.
Yep.
The point of the yips. So for people who listen to the podcast that aren't familiar,
Jimmy will know.
The yips is when the ball's in the air and you know what to do, but then your muscles forget what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brain gets in the way of you doing the right thing when muscle memory should have just taken over from the beginning.
Yep.
And then you're behind, and you're trying to make up for it, and you try to get yourself in front of it, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So.
And that's the yips where your brain just freezes for a second.
I don't know. The United are in kind of a fantastically hilarious position right now. So.
Yes.
What is it, Brad?
You
got something quick for us, Brad?
I got the last question of the pod.
I hope it's a quick one.
Who has the most clean sheets on the year so far?
It's Martinez.
Sanchez.
Or Sanchez, sorry.
It's Sanchez. Nope. Robert Sanchez. No.
Sanchez is tied with Leno, Pope, Raya, and Anderson, and Vicario for second. Number 1 on clean sheets right now is Sam Johnstone.
Oh.
For Everton.
At Crystal Palace.
Oh, Palace. Yeah, they're
Palace with 4.
Interesting.
They're chilling at night.
Sanchez wasn't there from the beginning.
By the way, if you guys haven't looked at their stat line, there are 7 goals for, 7 goals allowed, by the way, which is ridiculous in 8 games.
So
yeah.
Well, I think that's all we got for you guys tonight, unless you had something quick, Sean. Did you have something?
No.
All right, well, that's all we got.
No trivia.
Yeah, well, we kind of have 2 trivias. A little bit, but all right. So drop a comment down below what you guys think. Again, remember, this is the only episode you guys get this week, so make sure you watch it in full. And since I'm telling you this at the end of the video, guys, obviously you've already done that, so I appreciate you. Send it to a buddy, send it to your mother. Hit us up on X. That's at KSBradG. That's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. You can hit us up on Discord. We've got our Discord link. It's in the video description or the podcast description. And we'd love to hear from you at Red Card Radio on all of the socials. But until then, have a calm weekend with no real football. Maybe enjoy some fake football. But we will see you all next time.